Hello and welcome to this edition of Beyond the Law. On Beyond the Law, I basically add law to the news. I also discuss other issues of law surrounding everyday living. My name is Ekem Nidim. I'm a legal practitioner and I'm always glad to know that you're there keeping me company. In this edition of Beyond the Law, I am discussing the rights available to an accused person, to anybody standing trial in a court of law in Nigeria. I will display these rights one by one on the screen and then explain them as I progress in the video. The first right is the right to be informed promptly and in detail in a language which the accused person understands of the nature and cause of the charge against him. So let me explain that. Every person that is taken before a court of law has the right to be promptly informed of the reason why he has been taken to the court. And that is usually reflected in a charge sheet. The charge sheet contains the offense upon which the accused person is taken to the court. So it is the right of the accused person to be informed promptly of the charge preferred against him. And so any accused person that is not informed of the charge against him, that person can protest against that and can as well approach a higher court to nullify what was done against him. So the first right here is the right to be promptly informed of the offense that the person has committed and to be informed in the language that he understands. The second right is the right to have adequate time and facilities for the preparation of his defense and to communicate with his counsel of his own choosing. So now let me explain that. Every accused person is entitled to be afforded adequate time and facilities to prepare for his defense. If the accused person says, please, I need so time to be able to meet with my lawyer and then have a communication with my lawyer, the accused person is entitled to that right and also necessary facilities to aid in the defense of the matter that has been preferred against him. Facilities here could mean all the documents to be used by the prosecution in the prosecution of the case against him. Confessional statement, evidence that the prosecution has, everything that the prosecution is going to use ought to be shown, ought to be given ahead of time to the accused person to enable him to enjoy that right, the right to be given adequate time and facilities to prepare for his defense and to discuss his defense with a lawyer of his choosing. Now the third right, the right to be tried without undue delay. I explained that. Criminal matters come with restriction of the rights of an accused person, mostly restriction of the right to freedom of movement, restriction of the right to personal liberty, restriction of a lot of other rights, and therefore the law expects that the trial of an accused person should be done as quickly as possible without undue delay. We go to the fourth right. The fourth right here is the right to be tried in his presence and to defend himself in person or through legal practitioner of his own choosing. I explain this. Now, this right is to the effect that a person that is tried, a person that is taken to the court for the commission of a criminal offense is expected to be allowed to choose a lawyer of his choice. So you don't stop him. You don't tell him, you don't give him a lawyer. It's not expected for the state to choose a lawyer for the accused person. The accused person should be allowed to have a lawyer of his choice and then to tell the lawyer his side of the story to enable the lawyer to defend him the way he wishes. Now, the accused person is also expected to be tried in his presence. That is, he's not expected to be tried in absentia. He shouldn't be in prison custody while his trial is going on in the court of law. It is expected that he should be in court to be present at the time of his trial and to be defended by a lawyer of his choice. So the fifth right, that is right number 5, is the right to examine or to have examined the witness against him and to obtain the attendance and examination of witnesses on his behalf under the same conditions as witnesses against him. I explained that also. Criminal trial is mostly done with the use of witnesses. So the prosecution will present witnesses to testify against the accused person. Now, the rights that is available to the accused person in this regard is that the accused person should be allowed to cross-examine all the people that are coming to testify against him. So he could do the cross-examination by himself or do the cross-examination through a lawyer of his choice. But he has a right to confront and cross-examine anyone that has come to court to testify against him. He also has a right to present the witnesses of his choice to testify in his favor. And the counsel on the other side has a right to cross-examine his own witnesses also. Now, this is right number 6. Right number 6 is to have the free assistance of an interpreter if he cannot understand or speak the language used in the tribunal or in the court. Let me explain that. Someone who does not speak Hausa can be arraigned in a court in northern Nigeria because he has committed an offense there. And so the fact that he doesn't speak that language doesn't mean that he cannot be arraigned in a court there. So he's arraigned in court there. And if the language that is used in the court maybe is the language that he does not understand, then he's entitled to an interpreter. Okay, so even when someone is arraigned in an English-speaking court and the person does not understand the English language, it is expected that an interpreter be provided by the court to interpret for him free of charge to let him know the charge preferred against him and why he has been taken before the court. That's a right that is available to an accused person, and you cannot take that right from him. The last but not the least is the right not to be compelled to testify against himself or to confess to the guilt. So, an accused person has a right to remain silent and allow the prosecution to say all it wants to say, and then he doesn't say anything. He has that right. Now, if he chooses to remain silent, nobody has a right to compel him to talk. If he says he has not committed an offense, he cannot be compelled to confess to the commission of the offense if he says he has not committed an offense. So these are the rights available to every accused person, whether the accused person is tried in a magistrate's court or tried in the high court or tried in the customary court or tried in any court, court-martial, national industrial court, wherever accused persons are taken to. Every accused person, be it someone that is in the middle class in society, be it in the high class in society, and anyway, that person is entitled to these rights that I have mentioned. I do hope you've learned one or two things about the rights available to accused persons in courts of law across the Federation of Nigeria. Thank you for watching this very episode of You and the Law. Remember to subscribe to the channel for regular notifications. I remain your friend, Ekeminidim. I'm a legal practitioner, and I'm always glad to know that you're there keeping me company on this channel.